Going to talk about budgets, but talk about budgeting in front of you. I mean, you know pretty much a lot about budgeting, so let's change the topic. So, everyone here wants to be a business owner?
Yes.
Yes. Mr. Gold, you own money? Probably not. Okay. I am Wissam Nushrif. I am a full-time faculty member here, and I've been teaching here since 2009. Prior to becoming a professor, I used to work in retail banking for 10 years. I worked at Citizens Bank for 5 years, Bank of America for 5 years, and then TD Bank North, 8 months. Interesting experience. I do teach financial literacy, personal finance, money and banking, principles of management, principles of marketing, introduction to business. And I forgot one, the balancing act, juggling work, life, and school. Tough to keep track with 8 classes. And some of you were my students. Usama this semester, the 3 of you last semester. So good to see you. So you all mentioned that you wanted to be business owners, okay? Have you saving money for your business idea? How many of you? Raise your hands. Okay. By the time you graduate or by the time you start your business idea, are you going to have all the capital you need for your business?
No.
No.
No, hopefully. You don't think so? Right. So you have a business idea, you think it's a great business idea, right? You have some money, but not all the money. So where are you going to get the rest of the money from?
Loans.
Bank loan.
Bank remember. Okay. Have you been shopping for loans recently for business?
I did some little research with Bank of America, not much else. They're pretty good when it comes to business loans, but I haven't compared a lot of you, so no, not specifically.
Okay, all right. So you are an entrepreneur, you have a great business idea. You're going to go to a bank, Bank of America, or any other type of bank. What do you need to present to them? A business plan.
Yeah.
Have you done a business plan yet?
No.
No? Yes. Some of you have done a business plan. Okay. So you go in front of a committee, and they have to make a decision whether they're going to give you a loan or not. What do they need to know in order to grant you the loan?
Your credit history, your background,
Credit history.
your ideas, how you're gonna make money when things are rough. How are you gonna pay back that loan?
Alright, so let's talk about credit history, background of what?
Work.
Your own background and also the background of the business, right? Is it in your
That's what the
business?
business plan is.
Yeah, so that would the business plan would include, so part of it too. And have you buying an existing business which would make a difference, right? What additional items are we looking at?
Any assets you own,
Any assets that you own, absolutely. Alright. And there are a lot of others, but let's just stick with these, right? How many of you have assets that you are willing to put at risk for your business idea? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, all right. How many of you have assets at all? I'm sorry, this person. Well, if it was me, probably I would say I wouldn't have any asset to put for a business idea. But since if you don't have assets and you're only going to rely on a loan, then what would be the most important part here?
Credit history.
Credit history. You are a walking number in front of any financial institution. That's all you are, right? You are a number. And your number is your score. Because regardless of how good you are, how personable you are, how great is your business idea, if you don't have the money and you do not have the assets to secure the loan, they will only base their decision or mainly a decision on your credit history. So how many of you, A, are aware of their credit score? You are? That's
check
good.
every year for free.
Yeah, absolutely. You can get it for free. Good. How many of you believe you have a good credit score? Good. All right. Anastasia, you're laughing. Why?
I'm not sure about my credit.
You're not sure about your credit score.
And
Okay.
no credit score.
And you have no credit score. Okay. So let's talk about credit score. What is a good credit score, in your opinion? 600?
750.
750?
Exactly. I think maybe low fives. would
Low
be
fives is a good credit. Well, that's probably post, pre-recession. Post-recession, things have changed. See, when I used to work in banking, the highest credit score at the time was 840. At the time. Now it is 899. So you're talking good credit, you're talking in the 800s. That's excellent credit. A good credit, you know, you're in the 750, it's still okay. It's a good credit. You're in the 600, you're average. You go to 500, not good. All right? So the first step, you need to know where you stand. And if you have no credit, Osama, what do you need to do?
Assets.
Build
Put my
credit.
assets as a collateral and get a loan.
Put your assets as a collateral. Right. How many of you here have no credit at all? Jael, same thing. Anastasia, no credit. First thing first, if you plan to start your business, you have to start building credit. And if someone who has no credit, the easiest way is to start with a secured
Credit card.
credit card. That's the easiest way, right? Secured credit card, you put an amount of money as a security deposit. It could be 300, 500, it doesn't matter. You put it in a checking account, in a savings account, and then they give you a credit card with that amount. But you have to start. Yes, sir.
I heard, and I was also told that when I was young, but I heard over time, I have some bank friends, they said what would be better than that, because that's revolving credit, would be a secured loan. It builds your credit faster.
It honestly doesn't matter. Because what you need to do is you need to show a payment history. Because what is your credit, right? It's a history of your payments. Have you been responsible enough and paying your bills on time? So whether it is a revolving credit or a loan, as long as you make your monthly payments on time, every time you're making your monthly payments, you will have earning points. And for those of you who took my financial literacy class, the credit score, what is it? Is it a rating?
Credit score is?
Is it a rating?
Yeah.
No. That's it.
I don't know.
You're failing my cut now. Your credit score is a ranking. It is a ranking. It is not a rating. What most people don't understand, it is a ranking of your rank order against all other Americans
Okay.
who have a valid social security number and have a credit history. So it's comparing you. That's all it does. When it says that you have an 800 credit score, that's your rank against others. And it just tells them that you are in the 800 percentile better than all the others that are below you. That's what it does, because it's how they gauge, risk. Okay, so for those of you who have no credit, you have to start building credit. Anyone here has bad credit?
Oh, I have that, right?
You have bad credit,
Yeah.
okay. And this is too personal, but we're not talking bankruptcy, right?
No.
Oh, good, all right,
No.
that's really bad.
Yeah, that's bad.
That's bad, okay. So bad credit, you have collections?
No,
You don't?
no, just when I was younger, we didn't pay anything. Me and my wife, we're going up now. See, but the thing is, we're buying property, rental property, and that would be my asset. But I'm gonna build my capital off of that. I'm trying to almost do this with the minimal loan possible.
So you
So I have
wanna,
a business plan that kind of excludes the bank loan.
how are you buying your property, cash?
No, that's where the bank comes in. That's what I'm saying, it's an asset.
It is
So
an
it's
asset.
already an automatic asset, but I'm not asking them for any more money from there.
But you cannot secure an additional loan with a property that already has a loan against it. You would only be able to use your rental property if it's paid off, or if you have equity on it.
Oh, no, I'm not buying another property, it's that one property and the rental, it's a business at the same time, because, we rent.
So
So
you would be
that
able-
one property is the asset, I'm not buying another property until I start my business
So,
off.
okay, so you're using the property where you rent it and part of it would be part of your
The
business?
income will go into my other business, the contracting.
Sounds a bit complicated, but maybe it will work out, it depends relative to the business plan and what your business idea is. Alright, so credit is very important. What are the things you need to take into consideration to make sure you have a really good credit?
Pay bills.
Pay your bills on time.
Pay your bills on time. What else?
Use your credit card.
I think
However, is it?
Use your credit card every month.
Use your credit card every month.
Right.
So
Well,
let's,
to build up a credit score. To build up a credit score, you have to use credit card
Credit
every
card.
month and give them money back.
Okay,
Share
and
my
pay
history
it?
of
There's something,
payments.
so I'm new to credit, which is why I didn't raise my hand for a lot. But when I was talking about it, there's something about how much you utilize it also depends on your credit score, I think. I'm not sure if that's true though.
Yeah, so if you have a credit card that is open and you keep it in your wallet and you never use it, it's doing nothing for you, right? Only active credit is the one that gets you points. So you have to be using it actively, yes.
I want to ask a question.
Yes.
Because, for example, credit card, I must pay the rent bill before every month, the first day. So I give them the check number, but they always draw later. Well, almost around the sixth or seventh day. So I think maybe my credit history not good because people think I not pay on time.
You only get reported as late if you are at least 30 days late. So 6 days, 5 days, it will not report you late. However, you may be charged a late payment fee, which would be concerning.
I say I give the landlord my pay
But this is for rent, right?
for rent.
It's not an issue. Renting, you're not going to be charged interest. So it would be concerning if you had, let's say, a bill to pay towards a credit card. The due date is usually the 1st of the month, and you pay your bill the 6th or the 7th of the month. Do you get reported to your credit reporting agencies?
No.
No, it's not 30 days late. That's all they care about. But you get a penalty, and your rate may increase. So that's where you have to be.
But I give them before the first day, but they withdraw my.
Yeah, I understand, but your landlord may take as much time as he needs to cash your check. It's not your problem. You give him the check on time. That's fine.
So essentially, when it comes to credit score, they only go by the history of being late or not late, not how many days
Yeah, that's
after you
like,
paid. So it's just late, not
it's
late.
30, 60, 90, 120, 180, past due overdraft, charged off. These are what they would be looking for.
So essentially, it's gonna stay positive credit as long as you don't go past the late 30 days.
Yes.
It will reflect
You
on your
won't be
credit score as
reported.
positive.
You would not be reported if it doesn't go beyond 30 days. You had a question?
I mean, also, isn't using more than 30% of your credit availability affect you in a bad way?
It's not 30, it's 50.
It's 50 now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have what we call credit to limit ratio. A credit to limit ratio, let's say you have a credit card and you have $5,000 on your credit card. That's the limit. The maximum you want to use at one time is $2,500. Anyone who looks at your loan application for anything, whether it is for your business or for any type of personal loan, they're saying how risky is this individual? If you are someone who is maxing out your credit card means you're using the maximum amount, $5,000 or close to $5,000, you are a risky individual, and they will not be willing to give you a loan.
But entrepreneurship qualities are to be risk more riskier you are, more powerful.
You can be as risky as you want once you get the money from the bank. Until you do that, be very careful.
Yeah.
Alright, because again, they don't know Usama, they don't know if they should trust Usama, they go by numbers.
So how often is that like calculated? Like, okay, so once again, I'm very new to credit cards. I actually did go over half the limit, but I paid it back since. Are they still gonna see like, oh, he went half, but he's paying it back, or is it just like, no, I've gone half, so?
No, so have you paid back before the accumulated interest?
So since I'm new to it, I'm on a like year, like I don't get charged. I'm just paying the balance off as I go. So
So it's like a 0% yield,
Exactly.
so notional rate?
right, right
Okay.
now,
You should be fine if you paid it.
yeah. Okay.
You get reported from any financial institution that does business with you once a month. Okay? And they send you information such as paid on time, or late on payment, or maxed out the credit limit, went over the credit limit once a month. If that information is positive, you earn more points. If the information is negative, you lose points. Yes?
I have a question. What about rent, as you talked about, how the bank would know that our rent is due on that particular date and we are getting paid? How about that?
Well, that's the point I was trying to say there. Rent is not something that gets
It's not included.
reported on your credit.
Oh,
Only financial institutions have the ability to report to your credit reporting agencies.
Not any personal.
Not any personal, no. So if you take a loan from a friend, your friend does not report to you, does not impact his credit.
But he can sue me if,
He could, yes. So don't take money without paying it back. All right, so we talked about paying money on time. You mentioned not going over the limit, maximizing your limit. What else impacts your credit?
If you pay the bill too early or something.
No, that's a myth.
That's a mess.
You pay your bill any time you want to pay it. As long as you receive a statement, you pay it, you earn points. So let me tell you what we tell people, and I say we because I used to work in a bank. We tell people when you have a credit card, don't pay it off right away.
That's what I used to hear when I was at Bank of America. And I was like,
Well, if you don't pay it off right away and you only pay the minimum payments, what happens to the remaining balance? You get charged interest. Who's that helping?
The bank, yeah,
Not you.
right.
What you should do is use and pay, use, pay, without paying interest. Every time you use it and you pay it every month, you are getting points. It shows that you're making your monthly payments on time.
So that was a myth.
It's a myth.
Well,
I have a question. So whether we pay earlier or whether we pay after a month, the interest will be same, right?
No, the interest will not. You won't be charged interest if you pay by the due date. You will only be charged interest if you go beyond one statement cycle after the due date.
But before due date and on the due date, it will be same.
No interest, yes. You had a question.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about your background. Were you a personal banker?
And I started at Citizens Bank. I was a personal banker. Then I became an assistant manager. Then I went to TD Bank North and I was a customer service manager. Then I went to Bank of America. I was a banking center manager 1, then a banking center manager 2, then a banking center manager 3. Then I became a market performance manager, and then I became a consumer market manager. So by the end, I was managing 15 locations at Bank of America. What they call regional manager.